Now this is time to discuss about aim 10. In this aim we are going to learn about angle between the two parallel lines. Angle between the two parallel lines. Generally, if two lines having a common point, then we can find the angle between them. But parallel lines contain any common point? No, parallel lines do not intersect. So, we do not have any common point. Then how can we find the angle between them? That's why we can consider the angle between the parallel lines are 0 degrees. Why? Because if you see the parallel lines, they do not intersect at anywhere. So, if the lines not having common points, how can we find the angle? It is impossible, no? That's why we can consider angle between two parallel lines are 0 degrees. And now let us find distance between the two parallel lines. Distance between two parallel lines. Distance between two parallel lines. Now let me draw two parallel lines. Observe, the distance between two parallel lines is constant. The distance between any two parallel lines is same anywhere. Here L and M are any two parallel lines. If you measure the distance between them here, 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 here and anywhere, it should be constant. So we can say distance between any two parallel lines is always constant. Let it be A. Suppose A is A units, means the distance between L and M is A throughout the parallel lines. The distance does not change. Let me show you by practically. And observe here. Here I took A and D are small a and small d are two lines which are in the same plane and they do not have any common point, and if you measure, the distance between them is constant. Let me check whether they are parallel or not. This is the distance here and this is the distance here and this is, so the distance between two, let me measure. Now observe this stripes. Now let me take and let me measure. Is there any change? See, these four are having equal measurements. These four. So distance between two parallel lines are same, which means constant. And let me explain about now what is a transversal. The most important one, transversal. What is meant by transversal? A transversal is also a line which intersects the given two or more lines at different points. Then we can say that line is said to be a transversal. A line which intersects given two or more lines at different points is called the transversal. And let me show you diagrammatically. First of all, let me write the definition. If a line intersects two or more given lines at different points, then that line is said to be a transversal. Let me show you diagrammatically now. See here, I am taking line L and here I am taking line M, and now I would like to take one more line, and here you have to remember that line intersects these two lines at two different points. Now see, I am taking one more line which is P, and if you see P is intersecting both L and M at two different points. Those are, let it be A and P. Among these three lines, what is the transversal? Can you say? Is it L or M or P? Yeah, P is the transversal here. P is the transversal. Why here we are calling P as a transversal? Why don't we call L and M are transversal? Here L is intersecting the given two lines at one point only. L is intersecting only P. L is not intersecting M, and here M also doing the same work, whereas P is a line which intersect the given lines at two different points. That's why P is called a transversal, and those two lines are may or may not be parallel. And here observe one more diagram. L, M, N. Among these three lines, can you say what is the transversal? What is the duty of the transversal? A line which intersect the given two or more lines at different points. Now let me check L. Here L is a line which intersect the given two lines at two different points. So I can say here L is a transversal. Now let me check M. Here M is a line which intersect the other two lines, and this is the line L and this is the line N at two different points. So I can say M is also a transversal to the L and N. And now let me check about the N. Is N is a transversal to the remaining two lines? Yes, of course. Why? Because here N is the line which intersect the other two lines L and M at two different points. So I can say here N is also a transversal to L and M. In this figure, three lines are playing a role as a transversal. L is the transversal of MN and M is the transversal of L and N and N is the transversal of L and M. We can say like this. And now I am going to give you one more figure. Observe the lines, and here the lines are passing through the point P, and let it be L, M and N. Can you say the transversal in this figure? There is no transversal. Why? Because here L, M, N are passing through one point only. So here each and every line intersect the other two lines at only one point. And what is our definition? A line which intersect the given two lines at different points. If a line intersect two lines, we should get two different points. If a line intersect the given lines at intersecting three given lines, we have to get three different points. It should be intersect at three different points. If a line intersect four different lines, we should get four different points. Four different intersecting points we have to get. Here see, each and every line passing through the one point only. So here we cannot say the transversal. So among these lines there is no transversal. This type of lines we are going to call, in previous aim already we learnt, they are called as concurrent lines. And last thing in this aim we are going to learn that what is a intercept. Intercept. What is meant by intercept? Intercept is nothing but the distance between the two parallel lines. A transversal which intersect the given two or more parallel lines at different points. Now, let me show you diagrammatically first. And here are the lines, and let it be transversal L, M, N. Among these three lines, which is the transversal? Yes, we know L is the transversal. Why? Because L intersect M and N at A and B. And now intercept means the distance between these two lines is called as an intercept. The distance between these two lines is called an intercept. Suppose the distance between AB is small a, the intercept is small a only. And in this way we can identify what is an intercept and what are the transversal lines. Let me show you some figures and identify whether they are among those lines transversal is there or not. First, see this figure, and here I have two lines, which is small a line and this is the small b line, and here I have one more line which is small c. And can you say C is the transversal? Why not? Yes, here C line is a transversal. Why? Because this line intersecting the given two lines at two different points, which are A and B. So I can say C is the transversal to A and B. And now let me show you some figures. Now identify. See here. Here are the three lines, and I shown you on board before. And can I say this line as a transversal to these two lines? This line is transversal of these two lines? Yes. Why? Because this is the line which intersect the given two lines at two different points. So I can say this is transversal of these two. Are these transverse among these three lines? Any transversal will be? No. Why? Because all these three lines are passing through the one point only. So here there is no transversal. These are called as concurrent lines. Now coming here, can you identify the transversal among these three lines? Can we say this is the transversal? No. Can we say this is the transversal? No. Can we say this is the transversal? Yes. Why? Because this is a line, this is a transversal. Why? Because this line intersect these two lines at two different points. That's why we can say this is the transversal. And finally, in this also we can say very easily which line is the transversal. Obviously, this one is the transversal. Why? Because this is the line which intersect given two lines at two different points. So this is the transversal. In this way we can identify. Thank you. Let me explain what is an intercept. What is an intercept? The length of a transversal which is between the two lines is called an intercept. I am repeating, the length of the transversal between two lines is called intercept. Let me show you diagrammatically. And here I am taking two lines which are L and M, and here P is the transversal which P intersect the given two lines at two different points which are A and B. Now identify the intercept. Intercept is nothing but length of the transversal between these two lines, and this portion the length of this one. Suppose if it is A, and here A is called the intercept of this transversal. Transversal? Yes. Why? Because intercept is nothing but the length of the transversal. Can we take the full length? No. The length of the transversal between these 2 points only. And now let me show you diagrammatically by an activity. And see here, can you see 2 lines here? Yes, this is the line A and this is the line B. And here it is a line which is called as transversal. Why we call it as a transversal means this is the line C which intersect the given 2 lines at 2 different points which are A and B. So this line is called as transversal line. And can you identify the intercept? Yes, the length of the transversal between these 2 points is called the intercept, and this portion and this length is called intercept. And let me show you some more figures. Now identify the transversal among them. See these figures and see. This is the figure. Can you tell the transversal among these three lines? Yes. Already I explained on board, no? So here each and every line among these three are the transversal of the other two. Suppose take this one. This is the transversal of these two lines. Why? Because this line intersects these two lines at two different points. And now if you take this line, this is the line intersect these two lines at two different points. Similarly. And now see this figure. Can you say the transversal among these three lines? No, we cannot say. Why? Because these three lines are passing through one point only. That type of lines are called concurrent lines. There is no transversal. And now see this figure. Can you identify the transversal in this figure? Yes, it is the transversal. And see here. Can you identify the transversal in this figure? Yes, this is the transversal. In this way we can identify the transversal, and also we can calculate the intercept also. Thank you. Welcome to the aim 11. In this aim we are going to discuss about classification of angles by a transversal. Classification of angles by a transversal. How can we classify the angles? First of all, my question is, how many angles they formed? Let me show you diagrammatically. Now here I am taking two lines. And this is the transversal as we know, and here L, M are two lines, and here P is the transversal which intersect the given two lines at two different points. Let it be, the different points are A and B. Now tell me how many angles they formed. Let me count. See here, this is the first angle, and this is the second angle, and this is the third angle, and this is the fourth angle, and here fifth angle, and here sixth angle, this is seventh angle, and this is the eighth angle. Totally how many angles they formed? We have 8 angles. If a transversal cut the given two lines at two different points, we can form 8 angles. How to classify these 8 angles? And this is what we are going to learn in this aim. And the first one is alternate angles. First one is alternate angles. In this also we can subtitle them. Those are alternate interior angles, and second one alternate exterior angles. In this alternate interior angles, and the second one alternate exterior angles. And the second category is that corresponding angles. corresponding angles. And the third one is co-interior angles or allied angles. Co-interior or allied angles. And the next one is co-exterior angles. These are the classification of angles, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. How can we classify these 8 angles? Among them, what are alternate angles? I mean, what are alternate interior angles and what are alternate exterior angles, and what are corresponding angles, and what are co-interior or allied angles, and what are co-exterior angles. First of all, let me discuss about alternate angles. First one is alternate angles. What is meant by alternate angles? What are the rules? If any two angles are said to be alternate angles, then they have follow some rules. First of all, first condition is that they are either side of the transversal. First point is they are either side of the transversal. And the second point is, one is they should be either interior or exterior. They are interior or exterior. And third one is they are not adjacent angles. They are not adjacent angles. In this way we can classify them. Let me show you in figure. And here are the lines which are L and M, and here P is the transversal which intersect the given two lines at two different points. And now let me write the angles here. 1, 2, 3 and 4, and this is 5, 6, 7 and 8. And among them, which angles are called as alternate angles? And let me categorize. First condition is they are either side of the transversal, and this is the transversal. Which angles are lying on either side of the transversal? See here, 2, 1 either side, 3, 4, 6, 5, 7, 8. But here we have to follow one more rule. Both are maybe interior or exterior, and at the same time they are not adjacent angles. So now here, if you take this one, 3 and 5, can we say these two are alternate angles? Yes. Let us check whether they follow R3 rules or not. First of all, 3 and 5 are either side of the transversal, and the second thing is they both are interior angles. Interior angles means both are lying between the two lines. They may be parallel or not. These two angles are between two lines, and moreover they are not adjacent angles. So we can say here 3 and 5 are alternate angles, pair of alternate angles. Especially we can give the name pair of interior alternate angles, and we can give one more name, that one in this subcategory, alternate interior angles. What are those pairs? Now let me write here angle 3 comma angle 5 are pair of alternate interior angles. Let me identify one more pair. If you observe this 4 and this 6, see these two angles are also either side of the transversal, and they are not adjacent, and also they are interior angles. So I can say 4 comma angle 4 comma angle 6 are also pair of alternate interior angles. And let me write pair of alternate exterior angles. Now second category is alternate exterior angles. And here see in this figure, here 1 and 7. 1 is that side and 7 is this side. So here 1 and 7 are exterior angles. Exterior angle means the angles which are outside of the lines, which are exterior of the given two lines. So these two angles are exterior to this given lines now. So at the same time they are either side of the transversal, and they are not adjacent to each other. So we can say angle 1 comma angle 7 are pair of exterior alternate angles. And one more pair, and here this 2 and this 8. Angle 2 comma angle 8 are also called as pair of alternate exterior angles. And here the thing you have to remember is pair of alternate interior angles and pair of alternate exterior angles are equal when if the given two lines are parallel. Suppose here L is parallel to M. Suppose L is parallel to M, then we can say alternate angles are equal. Especially interior alternate angles are equal and exterior alternate angles are also equal if these two lines are parallel. And vice versa, conversely also we can say if these two lines are parallel, alternate angles are equal. We can say conversely, if alternate interior angles or alternate exterior angles are equal, we can say those two lines are parallel to each other. So here if L is parallel to M, we can say angle 3 is equal to angle 5 and angle 4 is equal to angle 6. At the same time, angle 1 is equal to angle 7 and angle 2 is equal to angle 8. In this way we can say. And now let me explain what are corresponding angles. and the second category is corresponding angles. What is meant by corresponding angles? Here also some rules what we have to follow. Whenever we can say two angles are corresponding angles, they should follow some rules. Among them, the first one is they should lie one side of the transversal. The angles which are on the same side of transversal. And the second point is one should be exterior and one should be interior. One angle is exterior and the other be interior. And the third point is they are not adjacent angles. They are not adjacent angles. Then let me show you this one diagrammatically. Now here I am going to take L, M are the two lines and here P is the transversal, and let me point out the angles 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. What are the corresponding angles? Let me identify the pair of corresponding angles here. The first rule is the angle should be on the same side of the transversal. So here 1, 4, 5, 8 are same side, 2, 3, 6, 7 are same side. And the second condition is one should be interior and one should be interior and one should be exterior. So here 1 is exterior, 4 is interior, but the third condition is they are not adjacent. They are not adjacent. So we can select like this. Here if you take 1, here 1 is exterior angle, and now I am going to select one more which is corresponding to this one. Means the second angle must not be adjacent to this one and should be either side of the transversal. I don't want to take this 4. Why? Because this is adjacent of this one. So I am going to the 5. Can I take 8? No. Why? Because if you take 8, 1 and 8 both will be exterior. My second condition is one should be interior and the other should be exterior. Here I selected exterior. Now I am going to select interior. Here I have 4 and 5 are the interiors. Among these two, I should select 5 only. Why? Because 5 is not adjacent to 1. So I am going to write pair of corresponding angles. And here angle 1 comma angle 5. Angle 1 comma angle 5. I got one pair. Let me go with one more pair. And what about this 4 and 8? Observe this. Here 4 is the interior and 8 is the exterior, and they are not adjacent, and moreover they are lying on the same side of the transversal. So I can select 4 and 8 also. So let me write one more pair. Those are angle 4 comma angle 8. Now that side over. Coming to this side, what are the pair of corresponding angles? Now I am going to select 2, and if I select 2 means next definitely here 2 is the exterior angle. Obviously I should go with the interior only, no? So this one and this one are interior, but I don't want to take this one. Why? Because here 3 is adjacent to 2. That's why I am going with 6, and here 2, 6 are corresponding angles to each other. So angle 2, angle 6, and the remaining pair is 3 and 7. Angle 3, angle 7 are corresponding angles. And moreover, here one important thing you have to remember is that corresponding angles are equal. If the corresponding angles are equal, we can say these two lines are parallel. If angle 1 is equal to angle 5, or angle 4 is equal to angle 8, or angle 2 is equal to angle 6, or angle 3 is equal to angle 7, we can say L is parallel to M. If two lines are parallel, then their corresponding angles are equal. And now let me explain what are co-interior or allied angles. And the third one is co-interior or allied angles. What is meant by co-interior angles or allied angles? In the definition, in the side heading itself have the meaning co-interior. Now what are let me draw a figure now. And here it is L, and it is M, and it is P. Now let me note down the angles. Those are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Among them, what are co-interior or allied angles? See here, 4, 5 are said to be co-interior or allied angles, and here 3, 6 are also called as. What is the specialty? If you add the co-interior angles which are lying on the same side of the transversal, the sum should be equal to 180 degrees. Some of the co-interior angles are supplementary. So the specialty of this one is, and here this one and this one, if you add angle 4 plus angle 5, you will get 180 degrees. At the same time, if you add these two, angle 3 plus angle 6, then also you will get 180 degrees. The co-interior angles which are lying on the same side of the transversal, and the sum will be give 180 degrees. So we can say the angles which are on the same side of the transversal and which are interior, their sum will be supplementary. And let me go with co-exterior angles. Co-exterior angles. And here also what are the co-exterior angles and the remaining pair. And if you take this one, this is, if you add this one and this 8, here 1 and 8 are exterior angles. If I add angle 1 plus angle 8, I will get 180 degrees. Similarly, if I add angle 2 and angle 7, also I will get 180 degrees. Sum of co-interior angles which are lying on the same side of the transversal are supplementary, as well as sum of co-exterior angles which are on the same side of the transversal also gives 180 degrees, which are supplementary. And now let me explain this one by a small activity. Now if you observe here, I have two lines which are small a and small b, and here C is the transversal. Why? Because this line intersect the given two lines at two different points. How many angles here they formed? 8 angles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. And if a transversal cuts any two different lines at different points, then we can form 8 angles. Then we can classify into, sometimes already I explained on the board, and among them what are corresponding angles, what are interior alternate angles, what are alternate exterior angles, and what are co-interior and co-exterior angles. Let us see how they are equal. Suppose if corresponding angles are equal, or interior alternate angles are equal, or interior alternate exterior angles are equal, then we can say those two lines are parallel to each other. Let us see the parallel lines now. See, here it is the figure which these two are. Here L and M are parallel lines, and this is the transversal, and here also we formed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and this is the 8th angle. Here also we form 8 angles. Let us see among them what are alternate angles. See here 3 and 5 are alternate angles. Why? Because these two angles are lying either side of the transversal. One is that side and another one is this side, and they are not adjacent, and they both are interior. So we can say angle 3 comma angle 5 are alternate interior angles. I said here parallel lines, these two are. If these two are parallel lines, means they two are equal. Let us see whether they are equal or not. I am replacing this angle with this. See how it is equal right now, and this angle are equal. That's why these two lines are parallel. And let me show you one more angle, and this corresponding angle is this one only now. So I am replacing this one and I am keeping on this. See how exactly it is equal. So now let me check alternate exterior angles, and here this is exterior and this is this side of the transversal, and this is exterior angle and that side. Now let me check whether these two are equal or not. I am replacing this one with this. See how they are equal. So let me check one more. This is exterior and this one also exterior. Let me replace. We can say by this activity alternate interior angles are equal as well as alternate exterior angles are also equal. Now let me check corresponding angles are equal or not. And In this figure, what are the corresponding angles? What are corresponding angles in this? What is the rule of the corresponding angle? Corresponding angles are same side of the transversal. One is interior and one is exterior. Now I would like to find corresponding of this angle. See here, this is inside, and at the same side of the transverse, this is exterior, and this 3 and 7 are the corresponding angles. Let me check, these two are equal or not? Yes, these two are equal. So I can say corresponding angles are equal. Same way, see here, this is the first angle, no? So first angle, this is exterior and this is interior. Both are on the same side of the transversal. Let me replace, and corresponding angles are equal. And now last one, sum of the co-interior angles are supplementary or not? Let us see. And here, let me replace this one properly. And now, what are co-interior angles? These two are co-interior angles or allied angles. Sum of allied angles will be supplementary. First of all, supplementary means they form a linear pair. See here, this 6 is equal to 2, no? Why? Because 2 and 6 are called as corresponding angles. Now I am replacing this 2 by 6. So in the place of 6 I can take 2 also, and I am taking this 2 and I am taking out this 3. Here 3 and this 6. In the place of 6 I am taking this 2. Let me, this is the line, whether they give 180 degrees or not, let us see. See, are they form line or not? Yes, they are forming line. See, here the angle must be 180. In this way we can take co-exterior angles also. Sum of co-exterior angles also gives 180 degrees only. Let me do one problem from our aim. Based upon this concept, let me do some problems in this aim. And here my first problem is, in the following figure they given AB is parallel to CD. In the figure they given AB is parallel to CD, and we have to find the value of X. Find the value of X, and the figure is and this is AB and this is CD, and here is a transversal which intersect the two parallel lines at M and N, and also they given two angles. Here it is 2x plus 7 degrees, and here they given angle 3x plus 13, 3x plus 13 degrees. By using this information we are going to find out the value of x. How can we find? First of all, observe, classify these angles. What type of angles these two are? Once remember the concept? Yes, these two are co-interior angles or allied angles. We know that sum of co-interior angles is equal to 180 degrees. So, if we add these two angles, we will get 180 degrees. So, let me solve this problem. 2x plus 7 degrees comma 3x plus 13 degrees are allied angles. Sum of allied and co-interior angles, both are same. Sum of co-interior angles are supplementary, which means 180 degrees. Now let me add these two angles. 2x plus 7 plus 3x plus 13 is equal to 180 degrees. 2x plus 3x gives 5x plus 13 plus 7 gives 20 degrees, which is equal to 180 degrees. And let me do here, and here plus 20 go in that side, it becomes to minus 20. 5x is equal to 180 degrees minus 20 degrees, and 5x is equal to 180 minus 20 will give 160 degrees, and here x is equal to 160 degrees by into 5 coming this side, it divide. Now cancel. 5 how many times will go? 5 3s are 15 and 1 will be remain. It makes this 0 as 10. 5 2s 10. Therefore, x is equal to here 32 degrees. And let me solve one more problem from this A. In the second problem, they are given 3 parallel lines. And they are L, M, N. And here is a transversal, which is P. And here they given angle 70 degrees, and here they given A. By using this information, we have to find A, and they are asking from this figure we have to find value of A. How can we solve? See here, observe the figure clearly. Means suppose if this line N will be not there. Imagine if there are only 2 parallel lines which are L and M. And now here 70 degrees means, and here also 70 degrees. Why? Because if these 2 are parallel lines, then corresponding angles are equal. This is the corresponding angle to this one. Why? Because these 2 lines are lying on the same side of the transversal, and this is exterior and this is interior. Now observe this one, and now remove this one and observe these 2. If you observe this one, 70 degrees and A are called as alternate exterior angles, and we know if the 2 lines are parallel, alternate exterior angles are equal. So we can say A is equal to 70 degrees. Then let me prove as a stepwise. First of all, I am denoting here is K. Let it be K. And from figure, angle K is equal to 70 degrees. Why angle K value equal to 70 degrees? Here L is parallel to M. L is parallel to M. Then we can say corresponding angles are equal. Corresponding angles are equal. And now here observe these two. What about these two? Here angle K is equal to angle A. Why? Because angle K is equal to A. Why? Because here angle K and angle A are exterior alternate angles. Alternate exterior angles are equal. Why? Because M is parallel to N here. Since M is parallel to N means we can say alternate exterior angles are equal. So what is the value of angle K here? We know that that is none other than 70 degrees. So in the place of K we can keep 70. Therefore finally we can say and A is equal to 70 degrees. By using our concept we can find the angles which are given in the figure. Thank you.